Question 1, JJ here from schooloftrade.com, April 28th, 2010. Welcome to your live stream recap. Boy, we had a great day in the room today. I went over some members trading today at 11:30 as well. So, boy, busy day this morning. Hope you guys had a good time in the room. Before we go over the trades we took today, we took a bunch of trades today. Nice big winning day today. I want to remind you guys about the blog here. Right below the video right now, there's a link below the video. That will take you to our blog. Guys, the blog has everything on there. Every video we've ever done is right there on the blog, guys. Now, of course, all the goods will be in our advanced course, our beginner's course on the website. But if you're looking for more free stuff, want to learn more about our patterns, want to learn more about our entries, want to learn more about different terms, use that search box there on the blog, guys. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. Lots of great stuff in the blog. And while you're there, subscribe to it. That way, every time we add a new video or a new article, you'll be alerted for when it's added. So keep up with all the brand new stuff there. Don't forget to subscribe to the blog. Let's take a look here. 2, 4, 5 trades in the scalp. We were batting 50% on the DX today. We took a lot of time going over the DX pattern this morning. Great pattern. We'll talk more about that in a second. As you can see, though, we're still demoing this DX pattern right now. So we're learning more about it today. We took 2 trades on that. One was a stop, one was a winner. We'll go over that in a second. But you can see the real money was made in the scalp today. We started off kind of slow here. We got some small scratch trades before 11 o'clock, but then we got a nice big winner there towards the end of the morning this morning. So 5 trades, 5 winners on the scalp system this morning, 66 ticks, 660 USD. And of course, we'll just broke that 8,000 mark for the month. We're now shooting for 9,000 now. Can make 9,000 bucks this month. Pretty challenging month. Of course, we only had 1 losing day the entire month, only 2 the entire year. And don't forget, we'll keep you guys posted the rest of the month here. What's the most important thing that happened today? Well, today was FOMC day, right? Fed day, when the Federal Open Market Committee, right? Say that 10 times fast. When the Federal Open Market Committee, when they release their, when they give their news release at 2:15. Now, usually it has to do with some sort of interest rates, right? Their Federal Reserve rate. And of course, when this video was being, it's actually 2:15 Eastern time right now. As you guys can see, I don't trade FOMC afternoons. I don't do it. We make enough money in the morning. I don't need to worry about trading the FOMC afternoon. But as you guys know, on FOMC day, we expect an early close of the morning as people wait for the FOMC announcement at 2:15. So this morning, we knew going into the market this morning, we knew get our money early, lock up those profits, and hold on tight, right? Because we don't want to give that stuff back. And we saw that whipping around. The S&P cut Spain down to junk status, I think, today. That was the announcement today around 11:30. So we started seeing really things picking up in volatility today. A lot of stuff going on in those currencies right now. And we wanted to make sure we were aware of the situation. Expect an end early to the morning this morning because that FOMC announcement, and we did just that. We stopped trading about 11:15, 11:30, and I'm glad we did. First things first, though, we open up our charts for the first time today. We watch the dollar first. Here's the dollar index. Now, here in the dollar index, once again, right, and this, of course, makes for good trading for us, sideways mark of the dollar. Double tops, double bottoms. So, of course, immediately, what do we think? We see sideways marks in the dollar. We expect everything else to be sideways, but more importantly now, we begin looking for that DX pattern. The DX pattern says if the dollar is at its highs and a currency future is at its lows, that's when the setup occurs. So we'll see if this develops at all today. But I want you guys to watch closely here at this low here, right? This is where we got involved with our DX patterns today here just before 9 o'clock at the low here of 82,300 on the dollar. Okay, we'll talk more about that in a second. But as you can see, the dollar index told us right away, sideways in the dollar. That means we may have to wait for a little bit more movement there before we start seeing the gold, the crude, and other markets start to move for us. Now, of course, here was that first DX trade. Now, remember, this DX pattern, 24 hours a day, right? You can be looking for these things 24/7. You don't need to just be watching them in the live trade room. Now, this morning, though, we opened up our live trade room. We glanced at our charts, and what do we see? Well, on the left here, you've got the euro. On the right, you've got the dollar. Okay, so you got the euro on the left, the 6E on the left, and then, of course, on the right side here, here's your dollar, your DX. Now, of course, we're going to watch the dollar first. Whenever the dollar is hovering around those lows here, right, dollar index at its lows, and again, remember, right, we want it to bounce off the lows and then come back down, right? That's one of the keys. We talked about that in members training today. If you guys weren't there with us, make sure you guys come back and join us next time for members training. But you can see here, the dollar bounced off the lows once, came back and tested those lows again here now at 8 o'clock. When we saw them test those lows at 8 o'clock, we then quickly looked over at the euro. On the euro, what do we see? We saw the euro at the high of day. Perfect situation. Dollar testing its lows, euro testing its highs, Looks perfect to me. What we wanted to make sure we did, though, was we wanted to make sure we got through all the levels of support on the euro. Now, that was the lesson we learned today, wasn't it? Yesterday, we learned a valuable lesson about the overall speed and which means what, right? Yesterday, we learned the dollar is going to be the one that moves the euro. So we want to see the dollar trigger first and then go and look for the euro trigger. If the euro triggers, but the dollar hasn't, we're sitting on hands. Okay, so we got to have the dollar first, then the euro. We learned that yesterday. Today we learned more about how to use our levels of support. Now, great example here. Again, we're demoing this pattern this week, so of course we're on our simulator account, taking as many of these trades we can. This one was a great example here. Now, you'll see here the first trade we took at 8.15. This was here at 32.26. Notice it was above support. Now, of course, you fast forward over to 8:35, right? 20 minutes later, after we had, of course, got stopped out once it broke above that high of day, we then, of course, looked for another entry. Once again, dollar was still sitting on its lows. We looked for the dollar to bounce off the lows to the upside. Meanwhile, we're looking to go short on the euro, right? Negative correlation. So we looked to get short now. This time, we did a much better job of it, right? This time, we knew what to look for. We waited for price to get below support right here at 32.15. And once it did, it tumbled the downside. Okay, so a nice big winner came out of it once we, of course, identified the levels of support. Okay, so that's what we learned today. On the DX pattern, we learned today, watch those levels of support around the dollar and around the euro. If you see the dollar has plenty of room to the upside to run, and the euro has plenty of room to the downside to run, guys, this is a gimme trade, right? Just tap it in. This is a gimme trade. So wonderful look here this morning. Learned a lot. We're not done yet, though. More to come here later on this week. And members, don't forget, we're going to be introducing a brand new strategy with the DX, okay, with that dollar index trade, which will be focused on very simple components, showing you how to earn $100 a day, $300 a day, $1,000 a day, and we're going to work on these specific templates and specific components to allow you to, for the most part, right, get involved easily and easily achieve your daily goal, no matter whether it's $100 or $100,000, right? We want to show you guys how to do that easily, and that'll be coming out later on this week. So more to come there on the DX pattern this week.